Hello, my babies. I am so excited to see you today. I am trying something a little bit different today in this video. I am actually at the end of my daily board meeting with myself. So I've already done my strength journal practice for the day and the four-step daily flow practice, if you will. And so a lot of days, what I love to do after I've done my little 3-minute meditation and, gotten into flow, a lot of times what I love to do is a card reading for myself. And so today I'm feeling guided to share my card reading with you today because I think that I truly believe that the messages that I receive are not just for me, that they're actually for the people that I am here to serve as well. And so if this video found you today, then maybe this card reading has a message for you in it as well. I will say, I think that some people who I know and who have been a part of my network, since I was young, some of you I understand it may be a little bit scary for you to open your mind to something like tarot cards. Um, and I get that. I understand they've been a very misunderstood tool. But what I would love to share, and so I use tarot cards as I just showed you, but I also use oracle cards. And so these are the two decks I'll be using today. This is the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. And then this is just the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck. But what I want to say is that tarot, just like anything else, you know, um, it's how you use it, right? It's not the thing itself that is good or bad. It is how you use it, okay? And so I had my first tarot reading when I was in college, and I like immediately fell in love with it. I didn't understand it as fully as I understand it now, but I realize now that it gives me a reading on my current energy. Because if you think about it, if we are all vibrating at a certain frequency, then the cards that we pull are going to reflect the energy that we are in at the time. And so this just gives me such a great way to explore and adjust, if you will. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, I'm feeling guided to start with the Starseed Oracle. So let's see what comes up from that for you guys. And honestly, for me too, I try to practice everything that I preach. Wow. Okay. So this card literally just jumped out of the deck. And this is really how I, do a reading. It's interesting how when you shuffle, sometimes like a card will just pop out and it feels so magical and divinely like orchestrated. It doesn't feel like you're doing it, right? Like it really gives you this sense of you are partnering with source, with God, with the universe to in your existence, okay? And so I just love that magical kind of aspect. But yes, this card literally just popped out and it says lifting the veil, questioning everything. Everything aligned must go. And so when I read a card, I love to just look at the imagery and see if there is something that stands out to me. Well, first of all, the words themselves, lifting the veil, questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. So lately, this has totally been showing up for me. And let me know in the comments how these things show up for you too. Um, this has been showing up for me because I have been really trying to birth a new way of being into existence for myself. Um, as you can tell, I'm showing up on YouTube pretty regularly now. As of 6 months ago, I was not even able to show up on social platforms consistently. And now I am doing that. And so I am really focused on bringing a new vision into the world. And so I'm starting to see how like things that I am doing and ways that I am thinking and ways that I am showing up in the world are either helping or hindering that goal of mine. They're either getting in the way of my vision or allowing my vision to happen more easily. And so I'm really recognizing lately what's been happening for me is like um all these insecurities have been popping up, and it's been showing me like, yeah, like it's almost like it's been showing me this static, um, like that's been really inhibiting my, um, inhibiting me on the path to my journey. So maybe you can relate to that as well. Um, I'm looking at this card and I'm seeing her like she kind of looks like she's coming out of a cave and she's opening the veil, right? And it really feels like that to me. Like I feel like I'm in this place of emergence. And I think there's a lot of people going through something similar now too. But it's almost like she's like, you know, opening the curtain on a new day and like seeing a whole new world outside of this little cave or whatever she's been in. I don't know why I want to say a cave. Maybe a cave is significant for you. So that's really interesting. Let's read the description of this card to see what else it says for us. One second. 86. Oh my gosh. Okay. So first of all, okay, so this card, the description of this card is on page 86, and I just don't, there are no coincidences. 86, like 86 is traditionally, people are like 86 that, right? Like get rid of that. And so, again, it says questioning everything, everything unaligned must go. So let's 86 the bullshit that's getting in the way, guys. Like let's just make a promise to ourselves that we are going to do that. So when self-limiting beliefs pop up, let's just let them go. Just observe them, be curious about them, be like, you know what? This isn't helping me get to where I actually want to be. So I'm going to let that go and I'm going to choose a different way to look at things. As I said, a lot of my insecurities lately, as I'm creating something new in the world, have been popping up, and a lot of that appears as self-doubt. So, how can we 86 the self-doubt and get rid of that? Okay, things aren't always as they seem. This era is one of uncovering mistruths so we can remember ancient truths. Everything is in a state of recall and realignment. Anything that isn't in harmony with the planet will not survive. This goes for society and the world at large, as well as in our own lives. If you pull this card, you're being called to energetically scan your life for things that may no longer be a vibrational match for who you are and how you've grown. To dismantle the systems and ways of being that once served you and others but no longer do. Some starseeds are here to lift the veil between the seen and the unseen worlds, to shine a light on things that are inauthentic or unaligned with the survival and well being of Earth. Wow. To stand for and protect those who don't have a voice, to look deeper and question everything that previous generations did not. Some star seeds cannot tolerate things that aren't congruent. They're here to bring society and humanity back into harmony with the planet and the creator at large. If we tolerate things in our life that aren't aligned and congruent with it, we add to the misalignment of the planet. You're being called to trust yourself. Notice what's out of alignment. and then take the baby steps required to bring it back into harmony. This is no easy feat, but it is so worthwhile, both individually and for the planet. Wow. Okay. So that takes it to a whole nother level, right? You guys, like, so when we tolerate, I love that line where it says, we can't tolerate things that are congruent. And if we tolerate things in our life that aren't aligned and congruent with it, we add to the misalignment of the planet. So, on the flip side, when we take the time to really connect and align with the things that are congruent, we are contributing to the alignment of the planet. And I think we all know that the world needs this from us. The world needs us to be in alignment and balance. We do not need more stress, anxiety, and conflict. We need peace, and we need to protect our peace as much as possible. We need to think about it like our life actually depends on it, because it actually does. And so when we do this, we do see the world around us improve. Okay, that was really powerful. So now I'm going to grab a couple of tarot cards and kind of see where how this card is supported. And I am just, going with my intuition as to what I want to pull. And so if you're not sure how to follow your intuition, what I would say to you is remember when you were a kid and you just would play with whatever toys you like to play with. You would be like, oh, I want to play, I love to play Barbies. So I would just play Barbies, and whatever came into my imagination, I would, pretend the Barbie was a doctor, or I'd pretend the Barbie was setting up her home. Um, or, you just let your imagination go to whatever would delight you in the moment. And so that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just like, okay, I pulled one Starseed Oracle card. Now I want to pull a tarot card. That sounds fun. So let's go there and see where that takes us. Okay, so I've already pulled two cards as I'm talking to you, and this one wants to come through. Wow. Okay. Awesome. All right. So we have okay. All right. So the first card that is showing up is the Six of Pentacles. And this card is about giving, receiving, and sharing wealth, um, generosity, and charity. Um, and so in terms of um, how that fits in with the lifting the veil card that we pulled earlier, I'm getting that, there's a shift in the way that we are giving and receiving, in the way that we are showing up for others and sharing ourselves with the world, right? How are we being generous and sharing with others? There may be a balancing happening in your life where you're recognizing maybe you're giving too much. See, I look at the scales here. He's holding a scale that represents a balancing. Um, and I think what I get from this card is also the way that you are serving the world. And so, in terms of, figuring out what is not aligned and what must go, um, really taking the time to look at how am I serving the world? Like, how is the energy that I am putting out coming back to me? And using that as a barometer to make decisions about how you want to continue showing up. Is it giving you the result that you're actually looking for, or is it giving you more conflict, right? And so when we look at that, um, and we make decisions accordingly. Then the next card that is popping up is the Ace of Swords. Okay, and so this card is about breakthroughs, new ideas, mental clarity, and success. And um, And so the suit of swords is about communication and and it tends to um lend itself to, how will those thoughts and ideas flow once we reevaluate how we are serving in the world, right? And this card suggests, the presence of this card suggests that when we reevaluate how we're showing up in the world, we're going to have inspiration, right? And more, mental clarity, success, new ideas will come to us as we kind of clear the clutter out, right? Because when we hold on to things that don't serve us, it gets in the way. And as we said, with this initial card, contributes to our own misalignment and the misalignment of the planet. So when we take the time to reevaluate how we're showing up, then inspiration returns to us again, and success returns to us, right? We re-enter that flow of well-being that is always flowing towards us. And then an even better card comes along. And so once we do that, once we clear that mental space, once we open up to intuition coming in, the next card that comes is the King of Pentacles. You guys, I don't think I have to really, you don't even have to know tarot to know that the King of Pentacles is something that you probably want to have happen. The King of Pentacles, um, Pentacles is about, usually having to do, it's an earth sign. It has to do with wealth, finances, right? And so abundance, right? And so this card is about wealth, business, leadership, security, discipline, abundance, right? So then not only do we open up to new ideas and inspiration coming in, which always feels so good, right? Don't you love when you get an inspired idea? Well, then actual, like, so the cool part about this is that because it's a pentacle, and I mentioned it's like earth energy, um, that then it's like the manifestation coming down to earth, right? So when we take the time to clear the clutter, we open up space for our dreams and our visions to actually come into reality, right? Because we are tuning ourselves to the frequency of to the frequency of the King of Pentacles, right? The frequency of a secure leader who has all of the resources available to him that he needs to make his dreams come true, to build his kingdom, to run his kingdom, right? And so that is super cool, if you ask me. Wow, you guys, what a powerful message. That's so cool. And so then just to tie it all together, here's the last card that I pulled. And a lot of people might think that this is a negative card, but I actually see this as what we are leaving behind as a result of everything that we just talked about. Okay. So anxiety, worry, fear, depression, nightmares, those are the things this represents. So this ties it all. Oh, this is so perfect. Yes. So when we return to this card of lifting the veil means that we are looking for, this is the crap we're looking for to get rid of, right? This is the static that interferes with us tuning to that frequency of the King of Pentacles. And so anxiety, worry, fear. I'm getting there's a song by Mike Love that I absolutely love, and it is These Are My Roots. And he sings, don't give your energy to fear and anxiety. Um, and I don't remember the rest of the lyrics, but essentially he is saying, you need to give your energy to good things. Um, and that Bible verse, right? That Bible verse that says, focus on whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, that supports what we're saying here today. And so I want you to keep your mind focused on higher things because we are literally in a portal right now where we are birthing a new world into being, and your desires are promises of what you can have in life. And you just have to go within to find the pathway towards that, right? And so that's what this is about. We need to go within. We need to find those feelings of anxiety, depression, the nightmares, all the things that we don't want. And we have to figure out the root of where they're coming from so that we can, reevaluate and readjust and find better things to set our minds upon. So, I trust that you found this reading to be helpful today. I hope that you've enjoyed this new format. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do more of these. I love doing them every single day. Like I said, I do them for myself, but I want to just start sharing them and see where it goes. So I love you so much, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. All right, have a great day.